milestones are being made in that field. I have Dr. Paul Kaduyu, a senior clinic associate and also gynecologist, and I have Owen Montgomery, who's coming to us from the American College of Obstetrics, although you are actually from Drexel University. You're a professor and chair. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning, Dr. Paul.
Good morning.
So I need to sort of understand, I think Dr. Paul can help us paint this picture of maternal health in Uganda before we go any further.
Well, to begin with, I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
We are having a situation in Uganda where we're still grappling with issues like a high fertility rate, issues like a high unmet need for family planning in Uganda. Our population growth rate is one of the highest in the world, and yet, yes, we can't say nothing is being done in terms of trying to stem the rate at which our population is growing. But it's obvious that what we are doing is not enough. What we are doing is not enough in terms of supporting this population. What we are doing is not enough to make sure that this population gets the services, the right services they need. And so we now, as implementing development partners to the government, are coming up to work with the government to see how best we can try to assist the government in putting this situation right. And that's why we have partnered with the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology to try and help us see how we can improve the quality of maternal health care in Uganda.
When we say quality of maternal health in Uganda, what is involved in the quality? Is it that as a mother I can access the care? Is it that as a mother I don't have to die while giving life? I mean, what is in quality?
Quality is really a broad construct, I can say. But in this collaboration, we are mainly looking at safety of maternal health care services that are provided at the hospitals in Uganda. And as far as safety is concerned, we are trying to go down to the schools, the teaching institutions, to make sure that the quality of the education that is offered is up to standard, so that 3, 4, 5 years from now, we are rolling out a doctor that is able to work in any part of the country with minimal resources, but offering the best quality services.
Okay. I guess, Owen, you're a professor at the College of Medicine, that's Drexel University. So is the answer really to then train, to start with the training versus what's already there? Are we saying the ones we've trained are not well trained, or is it a case of maybe the times have changed, so the training must also adjust itself?
So thank you. Good question, and thank you for letting us be here with you this morning. If I could answer the previous question, and your question is, should it be that a woman dies while giving life? And the answer is no. A woman should not die while giving life. And so all of us, Dr. Paul, myself, the Ugandan Association of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the American College, are committed to providing safe motherhood. And so that's what we're here about. Safety is about that a woman, when she accesses care, she can be confident that the doctor that is there is skilled and has been certified in doing at least a safe cesarean section, is certified in doing a safe manual vacuum aspiration for complications of miscarriage or abortion, is able to prevent postpartum hemorrhage, which is the leading cause of maternal mortality here in Uganda and in the world. And so we want to make sure that the young doctors, when they finish their internship and certainly when they finish their residency, have all the tools and the skills to provide the safest care for the women here in Uganda and also in the United States and other countries.
Okay, I'm just going to blanket ask because I'm not a doctor, so I would definitely ask. I mean, is it to say that we're grouping mothers, but taking care of mothers' needs in Uganda would be different from Kenya, from the States, from anywhere else? It's not a generalized sort of care.
So what I tell my young doctors in the United States is that babies are born pretty much the same everywhere.
Okay.
And as we have learned throughout the world the techniques for safe motherhood, then we could share them with all of the doctors around the world. This new program, which is called Essential Training in Operative Obstetrics, is first being taught here in Uganda. So Uganda is leading the way in the continent, and there are many other countries that would be interested once we've demonstrated its effectiveness here in Uganda. And many of the techniques are techniques that we have learned in the States or in other parts of the world, and we are simply sharing the newest technology.
Okay.
You're also right that times have changed, and the way that we've been teaching has been effective, but it's only gotten the maternal mortality rate down to, say, 336 from the World Health Organization, with a goal of, in 2030, of getting to 70 maternal deaths per 100,000.
Okay.
So we can't get there unless we do something different.
Okay. So again, I think what I meant to ask is sort of like, I think you wanted to talk about things like fistula, which is a big case here in Uganda. And I was wondering if some issues are just for Uganda, for the case of Uganda, if it's the way we take care of ourselves, if it's in the way we eat, whether some illnesses or some ailments as we have children or give life are only for the case of Uganda.
Well, maternal complications like obstetric fistula are not unique to Uganda. These are things that happen worldwide. It can happen in the USA, it does happen in Canada and elsewhere. But because of the unique kind of environment in which healthcare is provided in Uganda, you find that the prevalence or the rate at which these complications occur is higher.
Okay.
Yes, and that's why as Uganda we need to put more emphasis on those complications. Okay. Other people elsewhere who rarely get these complications will probably put their money elsewhere. But in Uganda, you do find that, like Dr. Owen mentioned, we have medical schools that are churning out hundreds of doctors each year. And at the end of the day, when you go down to the hospitals where they're practicing, you'll find that, yes, they're offering good services, but the rate at which they're also causing some problems is also a bit high.
So we're saying when they are the cause of a problem?
Sometimes they are the cause of the problem. But, well, in most cases, the root cause of the problem is things like obstructed labor, which is not the making of a doctor. It's not the making of the mother.
What's obstructed labor?
Now, obstructed labor is when an expectant mother takes long to deliver a baby because this baby is too big to pass through the pelvic canal. Yeah, something like that. And you find that when that does happen, these mothers are prone to getting a fistula, a hole in their bladder, so that they now start leaking urine uncontrollably.
So is that a case of like negligence or?
So it's not negligence, but it is the inavailability, non-availability of care, access, as you said. That if a woman has to travel a very long distance
to get to the hospital,
then, and at that hospital, if there's not a doctor that could perform a safe cesarean section, she may have 24 hours or maybe longer where she has an obstructed labor. And if you have access all through the country of doctors who are trained to do a safe cesarean section, to do it early enough in labor to save the mother's life and save the baby's life and prevent the fistula, then that's the goal, is to train enough young doctors for the entire country. Occasionally, if the young doctors are not well trained, as they're trying to do a life-saving cesarean, they have complications of the surgery, which then end up causing some of the fistulas,
Yes.
which could be avoided if we trained them better.
And I've seen actually women who have that cesarean section and then months later have to come back for another operation just to correct one mistake
Right.
and another, and before you know it, there's more complications to that. But I'm wondering, you said train doctors, but I mean, I'm aware that in that medical care, for example, C-section, there's a lot of other people involved, right? So is it just training the doctor or all the other health practitioners involved?
So you're absolutely right. Medicine is what we call a team sport.
Team, yes.
That we need a team. And in the new training, we actually teach about team communication. We use the WHO universal safety precautions.
Yeah.
So yes, we need to train the nurses in the operating
well.
room. We need to train the midwives so they call the doctor early enough that they can save the mother and save the baby. So we absolutely teach communication, we teach teamwork, and I think that's really important. The actual skills to do a safe cesarean, those are skills for the doctor.
Yes. So this training, people have been hearing training, training. Let's just, I've said safe surgery for mothers. This is called essential training in operative obstetrics.
Correct.
And you mentioned it's the first, well, Uganda is receiving it first.
Correct.
So what is it? Just describing what it actually is.
So it's a new program which is designed for new learners. It has a combination of a very intense 3 days in the skills laboratory, but prior to getting to the skills laboratory, the young doctor must complete 2 weeks worth of self-learning that is done using computers and flash drives, so they have to do that. They then must take a certifying examination, and they have to score above an 80 percentile for competence before they're allowed in the laboratory. Being in the lab, this is a very intensive program with many faculty members, including senior faculty members from all the universities.
Yeah.
And it was our Ugandan colleagues that said, we want the young learners to prove that they're ready for the lab.
Yes.
So not only are they ready intellectually, they have to come and take the course, but they actually have to prove that their hand skills are ready to go to the laboratory. And then there's 3 full days of intensive hands-on skills, supervised by senior faculty from the universities. And then when they're finished the training, they still are not done.
Oh, okay.
They then must go to the theater, the operating theater, and they must take their simulation skills, the skills they did in the lab, and they must perform a safe cesarean section under the supervision of senior faculty.
Yeah.
They have to perform a minimum of 6, and they have to perform them to competence, and then when they've done 6 and they've done 3 manual vacuum aspirations, they then get a certificate of completion. So you see the course is really quite long. It's 2 weeks worth of what we call e-learning, electronic learning.
Self-learning is.
Self-learning.
Yeah.
Then there's an intensive laboratory, and then there's the real-world experience.
Okay.
So when a young doctor has a certificate, you can be comfortable that they know how to do a safe cesarean section and prevent the iatrogenic or the fistula complication, and save moms and save babies.
So collectively, this is about what?
It takes the 3 months of their internship.
3 months.
Yeah.
So this is already sort of like Dr. Paul, for example, would be trained in this, like an established doctor, an established gynecologist.
So Dr. Paul is a master trainer already, as am I, so we're the professors. So we use our real-world experience to train the young doctors.
Oh, right.
So right now the program is for interns at the 3 universities and the first-year residents who've come back from working in the community hospitals.
Oh,
so eventually, all the doctors who go into OBGYN in Uganda will have gone through this program. If we're able to expand it to all 14 training sites.
Okay, so this is for, it's like an additional
It
skill.
is skills.
Additional
It is
to what you
important
already
skills.
know.
So you may get some of those skills if you just spent your 3 months in your internship,
Yes.
but you would not have gotten them to the accuracy of having the skills lab.
Okay, so so this is available now in Uganda, on the continent. We're first getting
Absolutely.
this. Were we a good case to get this first? Why were we special?
Well, I should say it was a concerted effort.
Yeah.
Yes, the teaching institutions realized this, and when they heard that ACOG was doing it, they were quick to approach them to come and do the same here. But also, our government has been doing quite a lot in terms of raising awareness about maternal health issues worldwide. We've been presenting these issues at various conferences at international level. So it was really, it wasn't a one-man thing. It's everyone got concerned. The teaching hospitals, the government, the different implementing partners in Uganda like USAID, UNFPA, everyone was concerned.
Okay, so this has already started.
Yes.
Yesterday was just a sort of discussion around what this can do. So this program is now still going on. It's available in Kampala?
Yep.
Kampala, Mbarara, and at Busutima in Mbale.
Okay, so it's spread out at least. So for the doctors, this is open to them for this training? Is it a training that's open? The program is open for all, or specific? Was it a
It is specific, specifically for the interns who are at the 3 universities right now.
Okay.
But with the support of the permanent secretary from the Ministry of Health, who was there yesterday for the kickoff, and other members of the government, we would like to extend it to every training program in Uganda.
Right.
So right now it's on 3 programs, but hopefully we'll be in all 14 sites. You have to be a physician. You have to have graduated from medical school. You have to be an intern at one of the 3 universities in order to have the training. But eventually, any intern trained in Uganda will have the special training.
Okay, so that's Mbarara University, Busitema, and here in Kampala, I'm assuming Makerere University.
Correct.
Okay, great. So I'm thinking as a patient, this is done, someone has gotten that training and certification. Is this something that now they know it, that it exists, but given that I need to trust which doctor is working on me, is the public going to be able to understand that this doctor, this gynecologist, has gone through this training?
By the fact that all the medical interns that are going to be, all the people that are doing medical internship at the moment.
So you're working to roll out a mass of trains, so we don't have to question whether it's this one or that one.
That's the only way you can achieve impact.
And they will have a certificate.
Okay.
So when they've completed the program, but only if they've completed it to the competency, then they get signed off. So yes, every doctor that's finished will have a completion certificate saying that they have completed essential training in operative obstetrics.
So one thing to check off.
One thing to check off. So
and
we are
if the government really comes in to support this program, 2-3 years from now, you'll be rest assured that each and every one, whether a gynecologist or a general practitioner, generalist, they will all be trained.
Yes,
and they won't have to brandish a certificate.
That's what I mean. I understand that if you go through the trainings, then that means the next phase of health practitioners we actually trust they have gone through this program. So this is fantastic. So thank you for passing by. Any final words, perhaps, Owen?
So the very first question you asked, which was, should mothers die while giving life? And the answer is no. And I think that, to quote a famous obstetrician who had been president of the International, who founded the Safe Motherhood campaign, which is, the real tragedy is not that women die because we don't know what they're dying from, but that we know what they're dying from, and society has not decided that their lives are worth saving. And we believe, and so does the permanent secretary, that this is a campaign because women are important. They're important here in Uganda. They're important back where I live, and we should provide the very best care so that when a woman is giving life, she can be confident that she is not risking her life.
That's a good thing. Dr. Paul?
Every life matters. And when it comes to mothers, one life does affect a whole lot of other lives, millions of lives. The loss of one mother means probably complications to a baby somewhere, and a lost livelihood for several young girls or boys somewhere, and the suffering of a husband somewhere. So really, I think we should put more effort in making sure that we can provide the best health care for our mothers, not forgetting the other section of the population, but the mothers really do matter a lot. And if government can come up to support such initiatives, I'm sure we shall take giant steps in as far as stemming maternal deaths is concerned.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul Kaduyu, and also Owen Montgomery from the Drexel University College of Medicine. Thank you for dropping by.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's it for Morning at NTV. Have a good day.
Watching Morning at NTV.
What do you want your baby to become? Every parent desires to have a healthy and successful child. Wise parents know that this starts even before the baby is born. Let's hear from these parents.
I want my baby to become a doctor. That's why I'm taking time to select a suitable man.
Ours will be an engineer.
That's why we started antenatal care early and still go back.
A manager.
That's why we are saving money for a safe delivery.